So when you're looking at how electrons interact with materials, especially for a TEM that uses a 200 kV lining energy, it's very important to pay attention to how the electrons behave in the material and how they scatter. So a while ago, TEMs used a higher lining energy of 300 kV, and that's mainly because the technology to make thin lamella wasn't quite there, and so you needed to have a higher energy electron to be able to get the electrons to transmit through the sample. But with today's advancements in technology with gallium FIBs and getting sharper beam at lower lining energies, we can make lamella pretty thin, down to a few nanometers, but that takes a lot of time. And this completely reduces electron scattering. And so this scattering has a direct comparison or relationship with TEM image quality. So the more scattering you get, the less resolution, the less quality of the TEM image that you get. So this is what this graph is showing, where all these blue lines, and this was made by a casino Monte Carlo simulation, shows the electron scattering. The thicker the lamella you get, which is a pretty cool process. So here's a physical example of that taking place, where in the center image, you see a lamella that has two thinned windows. The window on the left is 100 nanometers thick, while the window on the right is around 40 nanometers thick. So you see in the left image, you have all these variations in grayscales. So you have these dark patches. You could barely see atomic resolution. It's just a very sloppy looking image. And the TEM image on the right, you can see all the lattice structures of the silicon atoms arranged really nice. It's a very clean, beautiful image. And so this tells you how important it is to have a nice, thin, uniform lamella for TEM imaging. Any kind of variation in thickness causes electrons to scatter, and that scatter directly affects the resolution. One thing to note, though, is the thinner that you go, the more challenging it becomes to really stop defects from happening. And these defects we'll get into later, such as bending and curtaining.